25 MM6 set for case management. He is currently unrepresented.
All right. Good morning, Ms. Williams. You're here for case management on one count of driving while license suspended, resisting or obstructing officer without violence, and failure to register a motor vehicle. My understanding is that you do not have an attorney presently, and I think I received a number of filings that you filed 4 filings this morning with the clerk of court. I had a chance to briefly review them. So before we proceed, would you like to have an attorney appointed to represent you?
I represent myself.
Okay, so we'll address that in a moment. Mr. Helling, I think that I saw that Judge Bishop had notes in this case about having this case set for trial if there's no movement in this case, because I understand, Ms. Williams, you don't intend on entering a plea.
I'm sorry, I'm 75% deaf. I almost didn't hear any of that.
Sure, so I'll try to speak a little bit louder. Ms. Williams, my intent today is to set this case for a trial.
You're going to address the jurisdiction challenge?
Yeah, it's legally insufficient. It's denied. We have personal jurisdiction over you because you live in the state of Florida and you are operating allegedly a motor vehicle on the streets or highways of Union County. So we have personal jurisdiction over you. That's going to bring me to the next point, which is you indicated that you're pro se and that you do not intend on hiring or having an attorney represent you. Is that correct?
From this point on, I'm invoking constitutional law in this courtroom.
Okay, I intend to follow the U.S. and Florida Constitution, so we're on good standing.
And reserve all of my rights. And at this moment, I'm going to choose to invoke my right to remain silent. And because it's a criminal court, my silence cannot be construed as consent or guilt.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you some questions about whether or not you understand how to represent yourself. If you choose to remain silent, I will appoint an attorney because you've refused to answer my questions.
I object that.
Okay.
I object. Excuse me.
All right. So have you ever studied law?
Yes,
All
for the
right.
last 4 years.
Have you ever represented yourself in a criminal action before?
I know I stay out of trouble.
So is that no?
No, I never, does that matter?
It does, because it goes to your knowledge and ability to represent yourself as well as to understand and
I'm
appreciate.
very competent. I'm not to be presumed ignorant.
Okay. Do you understand each of the charges against you?
No, I do not.
Okay. So you are charged with one count of driving while license is suspended or revoked, which
What
means...
was the probable cause to pull me over?
So that's not what I'm asking you right now.
That has to be put on the record before any proceedings.
Okay, well,
by law.
So you were charged with driving while your license was suspended or revoked.
I wasn't driving. I was wrongly accused of driving.
And what exactly are you trying to say here? Did the officer actually see you behind the wheel of a moving vehicle? Or are you claiming something completely different? It's almost like you're using your own personal definition of what driving means instead of the legal one everyone else follows. Sometimes people convince themselves of things after reading too much random information online, and it ends up confusing the situation.
I invoked and clearly, would you like to see?
I'm gonna be talking for a little bit, and so I would like you to listen to my questions. This isn't a chance for you to try your case. This is for me to decide whether or not you're competent to represent yourself at trial. Okay?
I am.
Well, I will make that decision. So you are charged with one count of driving while license suspended, one count of resisting an officer without violence, and one count of failure to register a motor vehicle. Do you know the maximum penalty for each charge?
No, I don't.
Are you familiar with the legal elements of each charge?
No, I don't. I don't recognize policy. I don't
That's
recognize
not my question, which is...
administrative law or statutory law.
Well, you may not recognize it, but it will be imposed on you, and if you are found guilty, the judge will impose a sentence whether or not you recognize it or not. Do you understand that?
If you force jurisdiction where there is none, you'll be open doors to impeachment and lawsuits.
Okay. Well, I probably won't be the judge trying the case, so that's okay with me.
Your Honor, if I may, I think that Judge Bishop has gone over these with her already, and she has once again maintained her
Sure.
proceed pro se.
I think though, if I'm setting for trial, I think just to be safe for every stage, I'm just going to go over.
I was going to say, this is case management. It will go to pretrial next month, and
Okay.
then trial after that. So I think we're one step away for setting it full trial.
I'm going
All
to
right.
fire any judge, any attorney that's been appointed to me. So
Well, so I guess, Mr. Salter, if I set this for trial, would you be willing to be standby counsel just in case?
I think I would need to be, yes, sir.
Yes.
he's
all right.
fired.
Well, you don't get a fire standby counsel.
I do not consent to that.
Well, that's the thing about this is that there
I have
are
a right to represent myself. I've done
You
made
do.
it clear.
You have the right to represent yourself.
Yes.
But also the other part is that you have to be fully aware of all
Yes,
the
I
risks that come
am.
with
I
it.
am. I'm willing to take any risks.
Okay. I'll just put it this way, having read your legal filings, as well as the arrest report, I think you fundamentally misunderstand the laws and
Nope, I
Constitution.
am not. The Amish community has well kept up
Sure.
that right.
I'll just put it this way, I don't see many Amish people driving
Well,
cars and using
you're looking
phones.
at one.
And even more, the judge is basically asking you to be clear and honest about what happened, because the explanation you're giving right now doesn't line up with the facts. If you want the court to take your argument seriously, you need to stick to what actually happened, not a made-up version of...
Your Honor, we don't really have a trial week next month, so we'll just put, if you could put this on pretrial conference for the next month, Judge Bishop
Well,
can address
when
it.
is our pretrial conference?
June 10th.
All right. So it's the same day as case management?
Yes, Your Honor. We only have one misdemeanor court date.
All right, so I'll put your case on for pretrial conference. Be aware that you are charged with driving while license suspended and resisting an officer. Both of those are first-degree misdemeanors. Maximum punishment of those consecutively would be up to 2 years in the county jail. Failure to register a motor vehicle, that's a second-degree misdemeanor, which is punishable after 60 days in jail. So you could find yourself spending up to 2 years and 60 days in jail on these charges. Do you understand that?
No, I don't. But
Okay, so here's what happens is if you're found guilty, because what the state's required to prove are the essential elements of each charge.
I have all that
The
proof.
essential elements of driving while license suspended is that you were operating a motor vehicle on the streets or highways of Florida while your license or privilege was revoked or suspended.
I still don't
Whether or
know
not
the
you were
probable cause.
traveling, flying, or whatever you want to describe it, if you were in a car and that car was moving and you were operating that car and your license was suspended, then the jury would be instructed that all essential elements have been proven and they should find you guilty. Likewise, resisting an officer means that you resisted, obstructed, opposed an officer in the lawful execution of a duty, but you did not offer violence during that. If they find that you committed that offense, you would be found guilty and could be punished by up to a year in the county jail. So with that, you wish to have this set for trial.
no, I do not. But
Okay,
I
well,
wish
so
to have it dismissed.
your options today are to enter a plea or set it for trial.
You make the call.
Okay.
I'm not going with any plea, so
Okay, then we'll set it for trial. So that's how the case will be resolved. We'll set you on for June 10th for pretrial conference. Please sign notice, and we'll see you then.
thank you.
of events. No, what we're really seeing here is someone trying to switch...
May I address the court, please?
That's why your case was called.
Article 6, Clause 2 of the United States Constitution says, "This Constitution and the laws of the United States, which shall be made in pursuance thereof, shall be the supreme law of the land, and the judges in every state shall be bound thereby, and anything in the Constitution or laws of any state to the contrary notwithstanding." This means no state law, no local ordinance, and no traffic code can override the supreme authority of the United States Constitution, especially when it comes to the fundamental liberties of the people. I am here today as a special appearance, not because I committed a crime, but because I exercise a federally protected, clearly established constitutional right, which is the 14th Amendment right to travel in my private automobile without government permission or interference.
All right, stop. I don't have time to deal with this, and I'm not going to listen to this. Everything you're saying is absolute nonsense.
No, it's very true.
Stop talking. Don't talk. Everything you read about, when you read from the Constitution, yes, you read that correctly. Your interpretation and everything you think you're doing is absolutely wrong. The writ of prohibition that you filed in the First District Court of Appeal was dismissed yesterday, and we received that order, okay? I don't know what you think you're going to get by filing a writ of prohibition in the United States Supreme Court. If they even choose to answer that, we'll wait to see if there's an answer to that.
I will.
All of your claims are absolute nonsense, and I don't have time to deal with them. You were charged with driving on a suspended license, resisting an officer without violence, and failure to register a motor vehicle. Stop. Don't talk. The state attorney's offer to you is an adjudication of guilt, a $100 fine, court cost, and cost of prosecution.
Judge, to clarify that offer is no longer open.
That was the offer, okay? So there you go. The state attorney revoked the offer. Very, very good.
Identities, whenever it benefits them. One moment they're claiming to follow Amish traditions, and the next moment they're acting in a way that doesn't match those beliefs at all. And anyone familiar with Amish rules knows that they don't typically drive.
This is pretrial conference. And I don't have time right now. I just don't. I have to end our docket today because I have another appointment to go through a Feretta hearing with you right now. But you have indicated previously that you want to represent yourself, and so far you have been representing yourself, and with that being all the state had previously been asking for, that's all we would have done anyway. Okay. So you're not going to like anything I'm going to do right now, okay? And you're probably not going to agree with it. If you want to file all the nonsense that you've written down on paper and file it with the clerk, you certainly can. And then you can appeal any decision that I make to determine whether or not I've acted within the laws of the state of Florida, okay? I'm going to temporarily, because I expect that you're probably going to want to represent yourself if that's what you want to do, but you do have the right to have a lawyer represent you, and it sounds like the state's going to turn a little harder toward a more severe punishment. I'm going to appoint Mr. Salter to represent you today. I want you to at least try to have a conversation with him. And if you don't do that, well, we'll deal with that later. I'm going to continue the pretrial conference to the July docket. And at that date, if you indicate to me that you want to represent yourself, then we'll have a Feretta hearing on that date.
That's fair.
I'm not going to hear anything else from you today. I don't have time to deal with it.
I understand.
If there's something that you want to file, you can write until your hand bleeds on your paper. You certainly are free to do that, and you can file it. Whether it has any merit or not, I'll make decisions that I have jurisdiction to make, and then the appellate courts can make decisions about the jurisdiction, about the things they have jurisdiction to make, to include my decisions and my legal opinions, okay? I'm not going to deal with all of this today, all right? Sign your notice to appear for July 15th, and I'm appointing Mr. Salter to represent you for today.
That's the last case on the docket.
Drive or own gasoline-powered vehicles because of the guidelines set by their community.so. If that's the case, something doesn't add up. Either this person isn't actually living by Amish customs, or they're
Your Honor, just for the record, I know that you appointed me to represent Ms. Williams the last time. She has not contacted me and has no interest in me representing her, so I'm going to sit there.
I understand that. And Ms. Williams had, and I'm going to go through some things with Ms. Williams. I'm going to allow her some time to
I
talk.
can't hear you. You're going to have to speak up.
You need the hearing? We have hearing aids.
No, that's nasty, disgusting, dirty. You don't even...
All right, well, I'm not,
No,
I'm
we
not
didn't
going to
talk
shout.
about it.
Ms. Williams, I'm not going to shout, okay? All
You
right.
did the first time, so...
No, I didn't. I've never shouted at you.
Well, then, do you have any other accommodations to for handicapped people?
I have these hearing aids. They've been cleaned off and
No,
sanitized.
they're not. They've been cleaned off. They're not been replaced. I'm not putting something that's been in someone else's ear
Well,
in my own.
You obviously can hear what I'm saying to you, correct?
Not because you raised your voice a little.
Okay, thank you.
But
Let's keep
I didn't hear that.
Let's keep our tone civil if we can. Can we do that?
Yes,
Can we
I
maintain
can.
civility in our discussion? I'm going to allow you
I
some time
talk
to
loud because I'm deaf.
Misunderstanding what those customs allow. It's also possible they're using the label whenever it's convenient rather than following the lifestyle consistently. The judge is simply pointing out that the story doesn't match the facts, and the explanations being given don't line up with the traditions being referenced. All right, that wraps up the first hearing. It was definitely unusual, but trust me, things only get more complicated from here. Each hearing that follows brings even more unexpected moments and even more confusion from her side. Now let's move on to her second appearance, which happened about a month later, and see how things unfolded next. People who use these sovereign citizen arguments really shouldn't be given easy deals, and honestly, I wish more prosecutors would hold them fully accountable when they disrupt the legal process. Maybe if the consequences were more consistent, fewer people would try these tactics in the first place. It would save the court's time, reduce unnecessary drama, and remind everyone that the law isn't something you can bend with made-up rules. All right, everyone, that brings us to the end of the video. She didn't upload any of the later hearings, and honestly, the only reason I can guess is that the outcome probably didn't go her way. If she had won, I'm sure she would have shared it everywhere for everyone to see. I'll drop the links to her channel, so you can check out the original clips yourself if you're curious. If you do visit her channel, please don't leave any rude messages or bother her in any way. It's not worth the energy, and there's no need to escalate anything online. Just treat it as something to look at if you want a clearer picture of the situation or a quick laugh at how unusual the hearings were. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button. If not, feel free to tap dislike. Either way, your feedback helps. And don't forget to leave a comment below and subscribe with notifications on so you won't miss any of my future content. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care and see you.